Hello, classmates. I'm going to discuss topic one, the issue of religion and sports. When people discuss religion, there's a possibility of offending people, even dividing families based on religion. It is that people feel that strongly about religion. Um, Also, it's very difficult to separate religion from work. Especially if you work in the sports industry. Religion and sports. Many athletes and coaches display signs of reverence during athletic competitions. In order to determine if these displays should be allowed, it is important to look at the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause. To go even further, you can look at the Lemon Test, the Endorsement Test, and the um, Coercion test. The limit test: an action must have a secular purpose, its primary effect must neither advance nor inhibit religion, and it must not foster an excessive entanglement with religion. The endorsement test: the government cannot endorse, favor, promote, or prefer any religious belief or practice. The coercion test: the government may not coerce anyone to support or participate in religion of its exercise. So if we're talking about prayers in private public schools, colleges, and universities, I think it's pretty clear. And I found this in one of the articles I looked at, uh, and it's pretty clear what it states. It says, "What is clear that is the Supreme Court has made a definitive stand on the issue by allowing for prayers and fans to spontaneously worship on their own and disallowing coaches, athletic directors, or school personnel to lead, organize, or participate in student-initiated prayers." Um, and that's when we're talking about at the high school level. If you look at the issue of private schools, that's according to our author. It's a little bit not as clear cut. With like many things, the issue is money. If the private school receives federal funding, then they kind of have to abide by those same principles as a public school. However, if it does not receive federal funding, they are allowed to say prayers or participate in whatever religious activities they want because they do not receive federal fundings. Uh, if we're talking about a university, again from one of the articles that I found, although these universities have voluntarily discontinued pre-game prayers, the courts have upheld the rights of schools at the university level to continue the practice of prayer at graduation and before games. Um, the rationale for this decision is that college-age students are old enough to know that a prayer does not equate to state endorsement of religion. So again, you have a different ruling there because the age of the students. Um, as far as silent prayers, are they illegal? Again, from one of the articles that I found, it states that coaches will therefore face a difficult challenge in convincing the Third Circuit that their prayer policies, even silent ones, are constitutionally permissible. So again, this is stating that even silent prayers are not permissible under the Constitution. Uh, and the last question is, can a coach cancel an athlete using Christian principles? I think it really depends again on the age here. As you can see from the examples, age kind of factored in, and as far as allowing university students because they're older. I feel you can base it on some of those principles. I think you can't force it upon them and say you have to do this or you have to do it that way. So I think again it just depends on how it's presented, and it also depends on the recipient. If they are Christian, if they're atheists, I think that's gonna determine what happens here. Because as in the article, one of the reasons that universities kind of went away from using prayers was because atheists were complaining about the prayers. So I think it really just depends on who is the recipient of the counsel. That determines a lot. So that's my take on this topic. Thanks for watching.